I can't hear you, sweetheart. Oh, there you go. Hello, Trevor.
Hiya. Thanks for joining me tonight. It's lovely. I've been watching you for quite some time now and trying to
Oh,
interact.
thank you so much for having me. I This is such a pleasure and an honor. Thank you.
Well, the honour's all mine. It's really great. I've been watching you. So I checked your channel out, clearly. It says that you started YouTube in 2014. Um, I didn't realise that you'd been going that long, or did you just use it originally just to watch people and then start a channel up?
Yes, well, I started my channel when Megan went on the Oprah show, and then
Okay.
that's when I started. So it really was like a couple of years ago or a year ago. So
Yeah.
it's fairly new. I didn't start it until then.
Are you
Yeah.
enjoying it? Are you enjoying the platform?
I am. I'm enjoying it. I really love the subscribers. They really keep me motivated, and they're so kind. So they're the ones that keep the channel, because otherwise I would have said what I had to say about Megan and moved on by now.
Well, yeah.
And
I mean,
Harry.
YouTube. No one knows how YouTube works. Let's be honest. Some people I know have been on YouTube for decades, and we still don't understand what they want from us. I mean, we try and stay within guidelines and things, but um, if I'm honest, I don't think the guidelines really mean anything because it's normally down to whoever's doing the human reviewing of your channel that day. It depends on what their thought processes are or what they believe in, and usually they supersede the guidelines. If because you could put a video out and every 50,000 views, you can get 47,000 likes, but if the person reviewing your video is offended, then there's your warning.
Wow.
There's lots to learn. Anyway, listen,
Well,
we're
I've
trying to get your
heard
channel
about
to
the
go.
troubles that you had, and the trolls going after you and messing with your show and stuff. And I really wanted to see if I could lend some support. So I did post one of your videos on my page and said, let's support Trevor because they're attacking him on a really, you know, bad level. Like they were really messing with you pretty bad because you have a wonderful show.
Well, thank you. I'm used to it though. I mean, that's the thing about putting yourself out there on YouTube or any platform. You've got to take you've got to take the successes with the blows. You've got to take it off. You can't just. Don't get me wrong. There's days when we all get a little bit peed off at things, but the next stage always a good sleep sorts things out. You'll have. I seem to have a fantastic audience where I'm not everyone's cup of tea. Not every one of my subscribers agrees with all the things that I say, but at least they challenge it on a mature way.
Right.
They don't, yeah, which is great. But
It
listen,
is.
what stories have stood out for you lately? I've
Okay.
got loads in my head, loads in my head.
Me too, Trevor. Like every week, there's something new going on with the gruesome twosome.
Oh yeah,
But honestly, I feel like when Catherine came out and talked about her cancer and stuff, it really, to me, made Megan fade a little bit more, just because of the constant attacks and trashing of her royal family. Is the I don't feel like she's getting enough. She's not getting the attention that she needs to be successful, especially over here in the United States. So I think the website was offensive because of, using the royal crest, using everything royal. But how are you going to use everything royal when you are just a really despicable person when it comes to your family? Like they made you this opportunity to be on the stage, to be able to be in the limelight, to have a conversation with Oprah, to invite all these people to her wedding. And the way she uses her platform is disgusting to me.
do you know what? I think everyone that knows me will agree with this. I had no problem with Meghan Markle. I
Oh,
didn't. The truth is, I didn't. And I will admit this. whenever I was in my previous marriage, I've only been married once. I'm just saying that. But we used to sit and we got hooked. Luba loved watching Suits. I found it to be
You
an
did
entertaining
watch
show.
that? Okay.
I thought no, I didn't know who she was. To me,
Me neither.
she wasn't even the star of the show. She was
Right.
about the sixth or seventh. She was the secretary. The lawyers were the stars. Lewis, they were brilliant. And I actually enjoyed the show. And then whenever she was going out with Harry, I thought, oh great, well, this looks going to be
So,
quite good.
so Trevor, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. So you knew her through Suits because
Yeah.
I didn't know who she was until they announced that they were going to get married.
Mm.
And then when they did, I was a fan. Like I joined her website. I was one of her biggest fans. I was really rooting for her all the
Yeah.
way. So,
Well, I mean, I was rooting for him at the start. I really was
mhm.
because Harry had left the military. I knew about his service. I actually knew he hadn't been on the front line. I knew it was. I knew all
Oh,
those photo. I knew all those photographs of him with the GPMG 50 cal. Everything was
say,
staged. It was all staged. But you know what? The guys around Harry had to sign NDAs. They weren't to talk about it. So then, which that meant he could go and say whatever he wanted. It's a bit like it's a bit like I had private conversations with the Queen and she told me I can do this. Well, there's no one to say you can't. So, I mean, that's how it seemed to me. But I then seen a young man who could have done a lot for our broken veterans.
yep.
And instead, he turned his back on them. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm going to
And
say this now. Have you heard any stories or anything about Harry and Meghan raising money to help veterans?
no, of course not.
Exactly.
They
Because they
don't,
don't
their
care.
charity doesn't, none of the work that they do, in my mind, is
Yeah,
helping their causes. To me, it's just her getting on stage and showing her presence. And she thinks that's enough to gain people to give or to be a part of any charity ventures that they have.
mm,
But I don't, to me, it's not authentic, it's not real because the person that she is. I have a question for you really quick. Do you think that Meghan is the cause of all of what's going on with Harry and his family and just the whole, downfall? Like, do you think it's both of them? Or do you think it is, I mean, like she's running the show? Who's running the show?
well, Harry's too stupid to do anything. Um, when Harry was in the royal family, he had a lot of people and he had a lot of aides and helpers and guys and people write things for him. He was in a bubble protected. The minute he left that bubble, there's a word that I don't like, I can't use, but something struck where this was the first real woman that he actually met who was mothering him, that made him feel safe. And what she was doing was
Control.
she was manipulating him. I mean, she was using the same perfume as Princess Diana.
Oh,
She
yeah.
started she started to dress the same way. He started to see similarities, and then he started to. I mean, I believe she's manipulated him, and I honestly don't believe the marriage will. It's done well to get to this far, but it's quite clear that she's in control. I mean, Harry would never, ever, ever have dreamt of missing a memorial service for Royal Marines when he's the Captain General of Royal Marines.
Oh,
He
yes.
missed he
Went to
missed
that.
that service to go to a Disney premiere
Yep.
where he tried to pitch his wife
Your
as,
job.
yeah, I mean, despicable
It's
behavior.
despicable. It's all about her. His life has become, in my mind, all about Megan, all about what she wants, all about making her happy, all about making her dreams come true. So he, to me,
Yeah,
is converted over to that. I don't really think he has a mind of his own anymore. For him to treat his family that way and break away from his family, for him to be that close to his family and to allow
mm,
this woman to divide him from his country, from his
yeah,
family, that's what was one of the main reasons why I started chatting. Like it was just me on my page, and I was like, okay, enough is enough. She invites these celebrities she knows nothing about. Megan was a D-list actress. She didn't know any of them act. She wasn't in an A-list status.
No,
And I don't
agreed.
even think she had met any of them until they came to her wedding. And it just goes to show you what type of person she is. She didn't invite anyone but her mother. And her dad was never coming. She was never inviting him. She was going to come up with some excuse like she does for everything else.
Agreed. I'm just going to let people know in the chat, right? To find Latesha's channel, Lady Latesha, you'll find it is at Team Royal 50. For those that are trying to find out. So there we go. There's people asking in the chat. I apologize.
That's so fun. Hello, everyone in the chat. Thanks
I
for
know.
being here. I am so excited. I'm nervous because I'm talking to Trevor. You know, I really feel like well, in my mind, you're famous. So
I'm infamous. I'm an arse. Graham, can you do me a favor in the chat, buddy? See if you come across an old geezer. Can you just block him? I still get trolled no matter what, but I love it because it means that I'm achieving and they're not.
Yes,
So
they want to hear what you have
yeah.
to say. They
Yeah.
come on here and want to be on here and listen to you. It adds, but it's like I don't have that many trolls, maybe because I don't have that many subscribers, but I really ignore them.
You'll have one tomorrow because you were on with me tonight.
I know, right?
And I apologize for it, but it's just what happens.
It's scary.
Today, the Daily Mirror went after Thomas Markle Jr. today.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and this all stems from Archwell. It all stems from Harry and Meghan because do you know what? They're so narcissistic that they need to have the attention, but they only want the right attention. They don't want negative attention. So Thomas Markle Jr., he has a YouTube channel. It's not massive. It's not. But you know what? He earns, if I'm honest, he probably earns $150, $200 a month. It's nothing.
Right.
And he does it. It's parodies. He has fun. But now Meghan, they're trying to shut him down by saying he's making money off hate towards Meghan. Now, but that's weird because Meghan and Harry can write nonsense about the royal family, call us racists. I mean, for a while there, which I found funny, I'm being attacked and I'm being called a racist, and I went, I don't understand this.
Oh wow! Do people call you racist?
Because I went after Harry, and I'm
wow,
we're both white and ginger. How am I racist? But you're only going after Harry because of Meghan, and I went, I don't care about Meghan.
Right. I mean, it sounds like that. Yeah.
It's nonsense.
You're holding. It sounds like you're holding Harry more accountable. I call him the traitor because without his permission, Meghan couldn't do 90% of the stuff that he allows her to do, and she manipulates him into thinking that it's the right thing. And that's why I don't believe that her endeavors and her branding and all these things that she's trying to do is going to be successful, because she wants to be the CEO, the president. She wants to be over everything and control everything. And you need people that know that field to do it. And so it will, I'm not pushing her things to fail, but it will fail, in my opinion, because of her, who she is, her personality. I blame her more than I do Harry. I'm disappointed in Harry a lot, because here over the United States, we've just thought that he was this nice, handsome, eligible bachelor. And then, he got hitched with Meghan, and this was awesome. But then, it went downhill from there.
Well, that's because everything they've said, I mean, it's watching someone with this. I mean, watching Meghan, watching Harry. Harry, I call him the hostage and the handler. Harry's the hostage, she's the handler. And it's quite clear that she just looks at him and he goes, it's like, it's like he's under her spell, but she knows what she's doing. She's not stupid.
No,
she can't be stupid.
She's not.
But
She knows what she's doing with Harry. She knows how to manipulate him, and when she took him from his family and his country, she did that on purpose so that she could have full control, and no one else could come in and convince him. Well, she's not a great person, Harry. He doesn't even have the friends he used to have in the beginning, and
yeah,
it's really sad. To me, looking in from the outside at their relationship, which is fake. I don't believe that there's this big love story. I don't believe that she loves him. I believe that he cares about her, but I believe
yeah.
that he's in some type of cult like situation. I think that that ain't Harry. That's not the Harry that we see today, is not the Harry that we used to know. And I know his brother, William, feels that way and
Yeah.
doesn't want to have a relationship with him because he's being manipulated.
It's quite sad. I mean, I get sent. I never open them, but people send me links, and then I say, "Don't send me the link." What I would like, rather than people send me links, because I will never open a link in case I get viruses and stuff. So what
Right.
I people send me screen records, videos where I can just watch straight away and stuff, and I do that. But then I've seen things over the last couple of days. I mean, I don't understand how anyone with any self-respect could go and sit on a stage in San Francisco and preach about life coaching. And I'm
Oh,
thinking, how can you what
the
what advice could you
nerve.
what advice could you possibly give ordinary people when you've grown up with a silver spoon in your mouth and everything's been handed to you? I mean, what
Thank you.
advice? I don't understand it.
I don't
Wow.
understand it either, Trevor. You are right on the mark there. It doesn't add up. And even when she was on the stage talking about how once again, she's the victim. And now she's blaming everybody else on the internet that
Mm.
I was being bullied, but you don't want to talk about when you were bullying everyone in the castle, when you were bullying Harry and trying to bully his family
What do
into.
you make what do you make of Doria? Doria, is her mum.
I don't care for her at all because her mother is like Megan's puppet too. It's
Mm.
like if she doesn't do what Doria tells her to do, then Doria is going to be kicked out too. Megan controls her.
I thought that,
And
yeah.
yes,
But I mean, it must be quite. I feel sorry for her in a way. I know I shouldn't, but
you
it must
do.
be
You feel sorry for her. Mm.
for Doria, yeah, because she knows that Megan has elevated her to having. Megan's elevated her to sitting down and having chats with people that she would never ever dream of. She's living in a massive house with them. I mean, she's went from being an ordinary member of the public to having so much wealth. I don't know where it's coming from, but so much wealth. So,
Yes,
in a way, she has to be seen to
she
just
does.
back her 100%, and that's not nice. Whenever you're not letting your mother have her
Not.
own voice.
It's almost like Harry. They're being controlled by this
Yeah,
manipulator, and I get it. I get the how why you feel sorry for her. I do because in the beginning I felt like okay, because as a mother I would have told my daughter, I said, look here, you stop acting stupid.
I know. Well, that's what our mothers would do. I mean, Jesus. I mean, I speak to
Yeah.
mother every day, and she
Oh,
would if I said something out of tune, out of turn. My mother is to see when I do lives. My mother's on the phone straight away after. You shouldn't have said that. That was wrong. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. I just it falls out my mouth like garbage. I apologize, mother.
but look how you respect her. You respect her, and you have there's the role there. Like I feel the same way. Like if my mom would say something to me, I take it and I'm like, okay, mom, you're right. Oopsie daisy, and then we move on. But with Doria and Megan's relationship, it's almost like that's not like yes, it's her mother, but word on the street is that she didn't really raise Megan. As you know, she was there, but it's almost like they're sisters or almost
Yeah,
like they're just like okay, she's my mom and she kind of made her the star because she's the only one in the family that we see from her father's side, from her mother's side. She's the only one that is allowed to see the kids. Everybody, I do believe that those celebrities are the kids new family, and
well,
it's just
yeah.
cool.
I think that whenever now this came out during the Oprah interview, I remember the explosive comment about racism in the royal family, and we all went, "What? Really? Right?"
Right.
No,
That's what
but
threw me. I said,
yeah,
sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I was like, they
mhm,
gave you a wedding, they invited you in, they put you on a pedestal, they let you on the balcony, they gave you a crown. I mean, you saw the love and everything that they were doing to include her into this dynasty.
yeah.
And my thought was, did y'all vet her?
Well, I was like everyone gobsmacked, but then I sat back and thought about it. I went, okay, so Megan's going to use. In fact, I only found what stunned me was this: Megan identifying as a woman, a black woman. I was
That's
like,
that
what?
stupid stuff.
What?
That's
What?
that
But
she doesn't identify with being black, number one, because she doesn't hang around black people. She doesn't have any black friends. Serena, what? No, 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 no. She doesn't
we were
relate to us because
we were all stunned. We
yeah.
were all stunned. But
Mhm.
then I believe it made sense to keep mum around
Yeah.
to to keep that card going as
Yeah.
if and so mum's what I would call her mum's a prop, like a movie prop.
There, I love it. I love that. Yes.
So she's going to keep her mum around because
She's a
the
prop.
mum's a prop, and that's it. It's true though, isn't it? Her mum's a,
It is. It fits her. Doria the prompt. Mhm.
I
I get
know.
it.
She'd do a cartoon like that. Hopefully the Royal Griff might do one. But um yeah, so I see her mum as just a prop where she's needed for the time being. And there will come a time when she will run her course and Megan will move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, because Megan will kick her out. I just believe that. I just don't believe, I really do believe it's really and truly all about her. And if you're not for her or with her in her circle, she'll
Mhm.
kick you out. If you do something that she doesn't like, she'll kick you out. And that's what threw me when she was talking about friendship,
Yeah.
how she's going to be doing. I'm gonna do a video on it because that's that stupid stuff. She is not friendly. When you ghost your friends like she did, Jessica, and all the rest of those ladies that she ghosted and kicked away as soon as she married Harry, it just goes to show you what type of person she is. And so, why would I want to buy something from her? Why would I want to invest or be a fan or be like, oh, because I was like, okay, no more, no more.
Yeah.
And what got me, Trevor, was when she was in Africa, her and Harry, and when she was lying, talking about, no one asked me how I was doing. I'm like, you just got married. You should still be on your honeymoon. What is you talking about? You're lonely. That was the beginning of her mexiting.
Yeah. And whenever those words are mentioned in that conversation where she said, I I I'll look at Harry. I know you probably know more about Megan than I do.
I do. I
You
mean,
probably
not that I do, but I'm just saying I really like
yeah,
my problem. She's not my problem. I think she is the corporate. She is
yeah,
the one that started this because Harry wasn't writing books and being mean to his family and nasty and being a traitor
yeah.
before she came along.
Well, I look at that and I look at the Harry side of it, which it's very good to have you talking about the Meghan side, because I looked at the Harry side of it and I looked at the no one asked me how I felt. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute, stop. You're not an ordinary member of the public. I mean,
Right.
if I struggle with mental health, truthfully, I'm very lucky that I will phone a therapist at PTSD resolution. I can do that now, but there was a time I had to go through people to see where I want, what I need to get help. Whereas he has the opportunity to turn around to one of his advisors or aides and go, listen, I'm having some troubles. they get to speak directly to the CEOs and the people and the presidents and the prime minister. They get to speak to the top people. There's no excuse for them to say,
No
I
excuse.
never had help, because that's a lie.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you had like a group of people. You could have hired someone to be your personal aide. She had everything, like Chris Rock said. She
Yes.
won the light skin lottery
Yeah. Yeah. She's very lucky.
and messed it up. And messed it up. She really messed it up. I don't see a success here. I don't see success for Harry. I really don't. And it's because of their past discretions and current. What do you
Yeah.
think, Trevor, about the book Obit Scobie when he put Catherine and King Charles in that book? What was your thoughts?
Well, I've had run-ins with Owen Scooby in the past, actually. I
Ooh.
Owen Scooby's he's a child in a man's body, but
Mm.
again, he's a paid shill. He's another one of Meghan's props.
He's a
He puts what he
prop.
needs to put out. He actually said in his book that he didn't work for Harry and Meghan. He'd never met them, but in another book, it was brought out that Harry had spoke to him at some party, some gathering, and stuff. So, I mean, honestly, if anything, Harry's book Spur should have been put amongst the books like Stephen King fantasy books. It should never have been put out as a real book. It's not a biography.
No, it should have been because it was full of lies. It
50
was
Shades
full
of
of,
Grey, 50,
yeah.
50 Shades of Lies.
I love it. 50 Shades of Lies. Oh, I could barely get through the book. And the only reason I got it, because I didn't want to pay for it, because I don't want to I don't want to add to anything with them. I am disgusted with their behavior. I'm disgusted with what they've done to the Queen. And it's it's unbelievable. You know what? Honestly, Trevor, I thought during the coordination that would be like the moment that they would, reconcile and get back together as a family. She would take the kids so the kids could see the family. And when that didn't happen, I said, I give up on thinking that she's anything other than a manipulator, a narcissistic
Well, I
sociopath.
mean, the thing is, every time I mean, let's be honest, this is a couple that wanted away from the limelight, who've spent the rest of their life. I mean, honest to God, I cringe when I see. In fact, you know what? Listen, it takes a lot to embarrass people with ginger hair. We all got together and we kicked Harry out the Ginger Club because he's such an embarrassment, you know.
He
So,
is. He really is.
I mean, I had was it last year? It might have been last year, actually. No, it wasn't. About 18 months ago, I'm going to say, I got a private message from an ex-Special Forces retired
Oh.
guy saying to me, Trevor, please don't mention me about protecting Harry in Afghanistan, because none of us can afford a lawsuit against him. He will sue us all if we speak out to say we were out in front of you and we were protecting you in Afghanistan. So I've known from day one that every time he went, and anyone with a brain knows that he had a group of Special Forces people move around the battlefield with him to make sure he was safe.
They had to, because he's the son of
Exactly.
a prince,
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
prince, son of a king. So yes, to be.
But a lot of the guys that did it all signed NDAs and can never talk about it, which means Harry can say whatever he wants. Yes, I was out on my own. Yes, with my map.
I know, and it sucks because you remember when Megan did those NDAs for those kids in New York
I know.
City.
At that
What would
school.
they possibly have to say? Yeah.
Imagine Megan. I'm going to read you a story from the bench. The bench, read by the wench. Now, but you almost signed a piece of paper to say that I was lovely.
Right. Wow.
Wow.
If it were my child, like, we're not going to school today. We're not dealing with this. this is too much. Like that one mother that came on and said, we don't like you.
Honesty.
But what do you think about him saying those people's name, talking about the Taliban and how was it no. He was talking about how he killed in his
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
Was it
I
the
know what you mean.
Taliban? Yeah. Like, what do you think about him saying that?
Well, I've never heard. I mean, I've never heard anyone mention anything like that in all the years I've been in the military. I mean, I've worked in Afghanistan several times. It's quite. There's no point talking about it. Now, the thing is, right? Whenever you're out on a battlefield and you're up against your enemy, right? You can never think your enemy's stupid. Your enemy are quite smart, and it's a battle of wits and bravery and everything. And see if you do manage to kill a combatant, right? It's good that you've got rid of one, but what you don't go back and go, well, that was easy. That was like drafts. It's like chess pieces, taking chess pieces. You don't you. No one talks like that. Now, I've written a few books and I've talked about different battles I've been in and different things which has happened on the battlefield. But I've never made my enemies look like scum or look like idiots or unprofessional, because if they were unprofessional, you wouldn't need to send in the best of the best to go and try and deal with it. So I just find his whole language. At the time, I found it. Well, he was having to go to the Taliban, and of course, I don't like the Taliban. I think it's just because he came out with it, and he tried to make himself look like some sort of Apache hero
or bragging or it was very distasteful. But like, why would someone brag about killing people even though they are the enemy?
Our enemies do that. Our enemies brag about killing us.
Ooh,
we don't brag.
Shame on them.
We get rid of them. Now, do you want to know whenever you brag about killing someone in the Taliban or killing someone in Al Qaeda? Do you want to know when you brag? You brag in a small circle of guys.
Right. Of people, your friends, your confidants. Yes.
You do it amongst your team when you return in off the battlefield. And if you're able to have a beer, you have a beer and you do the little bit of bragging amongst your team. What you don't do the bragging about is all over social media and in the main papers, and you don't do that. It's unprofessional. It's frowned upon, and it's never done.
It's almost like he put a target on his back because they were upset with him for putting that in the book, and it's written like his book is. He can't take that back. Like his kids are gonna read this. Dad, you really was talking about your brother and your the queen, and I mean, it was seriously despicable.
If I'm honest, Latesha, I don't think his kids will ever read that shit that he wrote.
You see,
no one will ever read that. It's a book which, I'm going to be honest, one of my subscribers sent me that book, and I was meant to do a review on it. I did about 4 or 5 reviews on it, and I would sit. Now, this is why it took me 4 or 5 reviews, and I've never done this with a book. I read about the first 2 or 3 chapters, and then I had to put it down because it was just so toxic.
It was
and
toxic.
It's very toxic. And then it's all about victimhood, about the terrible life that Harry's had growing up. And
there was nothing positive about that book. It was sad, depressing, negative.
I didn't read it all. I think I got there about chapter, if I remember rightly, chapter 14 or 15, and then I just threw it down. I cannot put, because it was making me angry. I mean,
it did that to me too.
Waking up in a palace every day and was just so hard. And I just thought, fuck, really?
Yes.
I mean,
I like your point of view. I really do.
I found it painful to read. One day my eyes started bleeding. I was like, no, put it down, Trevor. Don't do this to yourself. You're gonna send yourself back into therapy. I mean,
I was skipping through the book, and then I had them had it speed. So I didn't get all of it either. And then I was just like you. I said, I can't finish this book. Look, I'm done.
Yeah. Well,
And I can barely get through that Netflix crapola.
I've Anna Perkins has said here in the chat, it may have been a cynical play to try and get protect his IPP status to get them. So I think the book as well was put out because then it proved that he needed, because he's killed people, he's mentioned he's killed people, we're going to have to pay for his protection for the rest of his life.
Right.
But I also felt
Oh.
so.
So you think he did it on purpose for,
I don't think he did it. Listen, I don't think he did. I don't think he does anything on purpose. I just think he's just completely brain dead. He is
Yeah, I
stupid.
do too.
I mean,
I do too.
everything he went to court in the UK. He took the media to court based on what he thought had happened and his own opinions. He had no proof. He had no proof. He had hardly no proof. And the judge threw lots of the stuff out.
Yeah, you had no proof, nothing. And then at the end of the conversation, this is how I know everything is about Meghan, is that the reason why I'm here is because, my wife is being attacked in the media and all of this other stuff. Everything he does is for Meghan. Everything.
But his wife would never listen.
She would never be.
If he had done what he wanted to do and just disappear away from that, no one would know who she is. But she craves attention 24/7, so she puts herself out in positions, and even that. Whenever we all found out, in fact, Spotify didn't even know this. When Spotify signed a contract to them, they 100% believed that Meghan was bringing people in for interviews. They didn't realize that
they had to do it.
The guests were speaking in a studio and it was being recorded, and her questions were being recorded. They didn't realize that. I mean, how embarrassing is that to say?
It's embarrassing.
Doing a podcast. Imagine me saying, I'm going to do a podcast tonight, Latesha. I'm going to send you 36 questions, and I want you just to read out I want you to go, yeah, Trevor, will I be, and pretend I'm with you, and then we'll put it together. I mean,
yes. And then what I thought was very despicable. This is one of the things that I really dislike about Meghan is how she blames everyone for her failures. Like she blamed the media for leaving the UK. That was one of the reasons. But just like Spotify, she went on and said that they didn't give her any direction, but they built you a whole studio in your home to help you get you where you needed to be. But come to find out, you were a effing grifter.
Yeah, I mean, what did I see today? The Duchess of North Sussex put out a thing today, which I looked at, and I actually shared it on my page, and it was...
I'm going to have to go look at it.
It's just strange where, I mean, you are right, the Sussex Squad are a cult. I mean, they're all... Oh, yeah. Do you remember growing up, no matter where you grew up, you always had someone that was near you, in your vicinity, who was probably a glue. Everyone knew a glue sniffer, or someone that was broken, or someone that was deserved to be locked up with the white coats. Yeah. Well, but in today's society, they're not allowed to be locked up. They're like, no, they're expressing themselves. So every one of those people have joined the Sussex Squad cult. So we're getting... Today I read something from one of them going, the King and the Queen and William, they must move out of Buckingham Palace. Let Meghan take over the palace. She is the rightful monarch. And I'm like, these people are mentally insane.
She is not even blood relative over there. She's an imposter. She is not even on the royal roster anymore. She's not even under other. Didn't they take her off?
Yes. And the thing is, I don't... You probably understand, but I don't think a lot of Americans understand why the UK and the Commonwealth questioned the legitimacy of the pregnancy. Because if it was a surrogate,
I know why. Yes.
If it was a surrogate does not have the bloodline to be a prince or queen, but if it's his and stuff, so that's why. And the fact that this is the only time when there's been so much secrecy around a royal birth.
It's so much secrecy. It is so it's
Yeah,
so much secrecy. There's got to be something going on. There has got to be either a
that's why
surrogate.
people, yeah, that's why everyone questioned it. No one's, see at the start, if it, if Meghan had been open, and whether it was Harry's decision or Meghan's decision, I don't know, but whoever was advising them to sort of keep things quiet, keep it secret, keep it, that was the wrong move, because
It
that
was.
just, it just brought up conspiracies. It threw her under the limelight, and then the way she stood standing up still and went straight down to shake a little kid's hand, everyone's
Yeah,
going,
it was like hanging. Yeah, that
yeah. I
was
mean,
weird.
had
And
they
just
been open, I mean, truthfully, Harry and Meghan could have been a breath of fresh air for the British royal family. They
they
could
could
have
have
been.
they could oh my God. They could
But
have really made a difference. Like Ice Cube said, you can't do anything outside the house. When she left, that she stopped whatever she was supposed to do
mm,
as far as, making a difference. But even now, I want to say something about the kids. There, you never see the kids, and when you do, you see the back of their heads or the side, or they're blurry. And so that alone to me is starting to drive suspicious to me, because they're what, turning 3, 5, and 6 or whatever, and we
mm,
still haven't seen the kids. That's not even normal.
it's not normal. I mean, the crazy thing is, ordinary holidays and things that we do as families
Yeah, no
are never
pictures.
being shown. It's just, yeah, and
The
they try and
saddest.
throw out media bites at the same time they know that the king or Prince William's about to put it in a media bite. They'll try and control that. And I mean, I've never come across this type of lunacy ever.
I don't think the Sussex squad is big as people think they are. I really don't. And the reason why I say that is because she should have a lot more subscribers on her Riviera page. And if you only have 500,000, that means maybe half of them are the Sussex squad and the rest are just media and people that's just curious. But I really don't think this, I'm not on Twitter a lot. So
Mhm.
I'm probably, if I'm being trolled or talked about, I wouldn't know. And I'm like, okay, I would welcome it. Bring it on. But I don't think that they're that big. I think they're organized, but I don't think that they are that big. But I do also, Trevor, believe that they're being exposed. Megan
Mm.
Kelly brought it up about Boozy being on the Netflix show and how he's a part of the Sussex squad. Isn't he a leader? Isn't he a member?
He's the one. He wrote an article about me in the Rolling Stone
He
magazine.
did.
He said that I had threatened to shoot him, um,
See, that's
and
that
that
stupid stuff.
I had threatened. He stated that I had threatened to strangle Megan, which I did not. But what he did was, he's quite cunning. I mean,
He
all
is.
these,
He is. He's
yeah.
very cunning.
I mean, he produced his own. What do you call it? He says we are problematic channels. He produced about 30 YouTube channels that are problematic, and he graded
Bot.
he graded us all. And I was like, wow, that's really good. Yeah, he's graded us all. Yeah, this guy who has got so many issues going on in his own life
He
is
does.
now telling us all that we are problematic. I was problematic, and he wanted to take me down because I called Harry out for not liking veterans, for the Royal Foundation calling me up and threatening me.
Telling the truth.
Yeah, all the things. I mean, I called him out, but what I had a lovely time, because every time he would tweet about me on Twitter, I went on national news and I called out Harry.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
did it. And every time he did it, I did it. But he was getting his little tweets. I was getting it on the world stage. So I was just laughing at him.
Yeah. I said a few things to him. I went on his especially when he was going after Catherine during her moment of privacy.
Mm.
I went on there and I said a few things to him. I said, "You're despicable." I said, "Why do you even have a platform? And why are half of you guys even listening to this junk?" And then I moved on. I'm surprised he's not coming after me, but I'm not big enough.
Oh, you will. You will be. Your channel will grow. You will grow and grow and grow,
Thank you,
and you will.
Trevor.
But thing is,
Before we go on, I love your outfit. It is so, I love it. I love your jacket. That is
thank you,
so awesome. Yes,
thank
it is
you.
very
Well,
nice.
I was at a barbecue earlier, which
Oh,
my ex-wife's house turned out to be a disaster.
oh,
Everything was so yesterday. No, different. We're going off on a tangent now. But yesterday I went
okay.
across and I cleaned the table and chairs in the garden, ready for today. I scrubbed the barbecue. It,
Really?
I had it sitting perfect. Today we went over. I took over a couple of bottles of red wine, not for me
Oh,
but for them, and we got it sitting up there. Anyway, I opened up the barbecue, turned on the gas. I seen the flames come up. I put all the meat on, sat down. 10 minutes later, the meat's not cooked or nothing. I'm like, what's going? So I did all that work, and she couldn't even be bothered to check to see if there was gas in the gas bottle.
so no barbecue.
So we put it all on. She has an air fryer and grill, so
Oh,
we cooked it anyway, and we just sat in
okay.
the garden. Yeah, and then my partner and my ex-wife both looking at me, blaming it on me, and I'm
Oh,
going,
it's your fault.
hang on, I bought the meat. Yeah, yeah, and you just turned up. You haven't done anything,
You
and
bought the
yeah,
meat, you got everything ready, and
yeah,
then the gas wasn't there.
exactly, exactly. I know. It's just yeah, yeah. And
Oh, sorry about that, Trevor.
well, yeah, I'm watching what I say tonight because last night I snapped on here having a. I didn't mean to, but I wasn't disrespectful. But the Duchess of North Sussex did a live last night,
I saw
and
that, yes.
I came on and we were chatting about issues with trolls and things, and I just yeah, I said too much.
Well, I was wondering, especially with the trolls and stuff, because they're always going to be out there. But like Boozy and stuff, like how is he this, I want to say powerful, but have such a big platform? And maybe it's because of the Sussex squad. But honestly, I don't see them being this big. They're organized though, but I don't see them being this big entity.
Well,
But I heard them one day saying that they wanted to take down Angela Livin, and I was like, "Whoa, that is."
they
Let's
won't do
all
that.
get together and call her boss. And I was like, "Whoa, you're gonna call her job, try to get her fired," and it was just weird. And
Well, that's in the UK that's called malicious communication, and that falls under the
oh,
Communications Act of 2006, Section 127, which can be a custodial sentence trying to do that to somebody.
illegal,
Yeah,
right?
it is. Yeah. No, yeah, I've been doing things with the police and Twitter as well.
Oh, good, good.
So there's lots happening behind the scenes. I
Okay.
mean, things will come out. At the minute, we can see the finish. Fiona's not another one in Graham. We can see the finish line. We
Oh,
know that
good.
there's an end to this. We
Mhm.
can see for 2 years, 3 years, it was just being attacked from here and attacked from here, and we didn't know. It was quite clear that Christopher Boozy paid a company. He bought followers on Twitter. I mean, within 3 days, he gained 60, 70,000. So
Wow.
in my opinion, Christopher
Ah,
Boozy paid a company and bought his Twitter followers to make himself
wow.
look bigger than what he was.
I saw that. Like you
Yeah,
can, like when you can buy stuff, buy what you're saying, buy it, and
yeah.
buy people to follow you and be a part of your, but they don't have any. Paula M was showing me yesterday that even if you buy them, they're not posting anything, so what the fake ones versus the real ones.
Yeah.
You
But
can tell.
you can also buy likes. You can also buy comments. You can
Wow.
do the lot. You can do the lot.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I had no
Um,
idea.
yeah. I mean, you can. You probably don't know what they're going to say. They might post something completely irrelevant, which then you'll be able to go, that doesn't sit well. But
Right.
you can do all these. There's so many companies out
I
there now
seen
trying
something
to
like
screw
that.
people over.
Yeah, that sucks.
Everything's available on the internet now. There's you can do anything. I mean, Twitter started doing something a while ago where you could buy your verification, but you had to prove who you were with your bank details and stuff. So people with blue ticks now on Twitter, they are genuinely who they are because you cannot hide, because Twitter now has your bank details. It's got your IP address. It knows who you are. So, it makes it a little bit safer for more people on Twitter. There's still scumbags out there, but you can find out who they are.
Wow. I had another question. So, what do you think about her keeping the kids from everyone, like Thomas Markle, King Charles? And do you ever think that she will allow them to see the kids? Because Thomas Markle's health is not on the best.
Who's keeping the kids from her though? Because she never seems to be anywhere near them.
That's what I said. I said the kids ain't with her. So that is so true.
I know. I mean,
my first thought was, well, maybe she's afraid the kids are going to take her spot. Because why did she take him to the polo game the other day? No, because she's had to be on stage. That's why she couldn't take the kids.
Well, she needs to be on stage everywhere she goes, so the kids don't go anywhere. Mm-hmm. I mean, if anything, they probably need to be rescued from Monty Shit Show, because they are probably under. I mean, they're probably gagged and in a room somewhere. You know, we don't know. They need proper parents. Those kids.
Because my daughter, she's stuck. Like I said, she's stuck to my hip. And everywhere I go, she's there. So I'm like, where are the kids? So I just think it's really despicable the way that she doesn't allow the family to see the kids. And I believe in here in America, her personality and the way she treats people, the way she treats her family, not allowing them to see the kids, and just go about like, oblivious to everything. People don't like that. Americans see that. We don't like a liar. We don't like the fact that you pretend to be something that you're not. And then that's why she only has 500,000 subscribers. That she had 9 million on her website when she launched it back in the day. Now she only has 500,000, which tells the story that she's a loser. Harry and her are losers, and they're losing. And she's controlling. She controls everything. Archie, well, Harry's not even a part of this Riviera debacle. And then he's going to be doing polo. I wonder who's going to be watching that.
Well, it's quite clear that whenever she first started off, everyone thought she's going to be wonderful. But the last couple of years have revealed the toxicity around her. So no one wants to go anywhere near her, and nobody wants to go near her. No brands want to go near her. So people don't want to go near her. In fact, she tried to do something in the UK. And she tried to copy. In the UK, we have the Royal Seal of Approval. Can't remember the exact name of it, but certain brands of products in the UK have a crest on them by appointment of His Majesty. It used to be Her Majesty, the Queen, and a little crest, and it gives the royal approval, and it's worth millions. I do believe this whole Orchard Riviera, whatever it is, I do believe she was trying to implement that on brands, but no one wants to go near her. So it's backfired again, hasn't it? It's backfired. In fact, the next thing
she has no brands.
It's called the Royal Warrant. Yep. I'm being told in the comments it's called the Royal Warrant. I'll show it. I will show you one. So basically,
hello, subscribers.
Basically, here we have my favorite. It is a bottle of HP sauce in the UK, right?
Oh, yummy! Right?
But if you look at the top of it, you will see.
Oh yeah, look.
It's got the Royal Warrant. So. which makes this a global.
Do you think that that's what she's going to start doing? Is putting that on her Nutty Buddy stuff?
Without a shadow of a doubt. But it'll be the
Oh.
Olivia Rivera, whatever that is. She wants that crest to go on all the products. She wants designers to bring her gear to her, and she gives it her royal seal.
So
But
do
will
you
cost.
think that will change? People will start buying it because of that reason?
No.
Okay.
If anything, it'll be embarrassing because we can see now that. I mean,
What she's about.
exactly.
What she's
Everyone
about.
that gets involved with it seems to, the backlash. Public aren't stupid. Every time something we see it, the backlash is unbelievable. In fact,
It
Netflix,
is. It's
Spotify
unbelievable.
are safe. They
It
made the right
really.
decision.
It's unbelievable. I really don't see. I really see that she's at the bottom here with Lemonado and her TIG 2.2, and I just don't see it being that successful. She's trying to be able to maintain this lifestyle of a billionaire, and she's a millionaire, but it's going to get tight. I really do
Yeah.
believe it, because it doesn't sound like they're going to give him full 24-hour security. What is it? PP H. What kind of security does he want? He wants like 24-hour security, just like the royals have it. But he left. He left the royal family. You knew that you wasn't going to have that security when you decided to leave. The queen told you that. You can't be half in and half out. But Meghan was bullying everybody and was going to make it happen.
He wanted. Now, most celebrities, all celebrities actually, have their own bodyguards, their own protection. But he wanted access to MI5 and MI6. He wanted access to documents. He wanted access to threat statuses. I mean, he wanted to keep that royal status where he could have access to top secret information.
Wow.
But he wanted all, and he wanted to live in the US. And we were like, well, no, it costs a lot of money. You can't just, yeah. I'm willing to pay for it. Well, no, you can't buy British police. You can't buy us. I mean,
Right.
it's for sale.
That's what they said. Then everybody would do it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if Harry did it, then truthfully, who's more famous? David Beckham could have applied
Right.
for it.
Exactly.
I mean, Elton John. The list is endless. You can't just give him special powers. Yeah, so it's come to an end. So it has come to an end. Yeah.
I believe so. I do.
Yeah. Well, listen. I only ever do an hour because I know there's other
Me
YouTubers.
too.
There's other YouTubers packed up behind waiting to do their hours, and if I used to get the all like because people delaying theirs because my subscribers follow lots of great channels, and I don't like to step on people's toes.
Oh, you're so nice. Oh,
I try to be. You wouldn't think so. The amount of people call me evil.
don't listen to him, Trevor. Block him out.
Well, listen. Thank you for coming on tonight. I do appreciate it. I know you're busy. I know you're in the wonderful state of Texas. So
yeah, it's hot.
of course it is. Look, I'm just under a light. I'm turning red.
Uh-oh.
But thank you. Have a wonderful day. And it's been wonderful
too.
to chat to you.
Thank you so much to your lovely subscribers for being on here, for allowing me to come on here and take an hour of Trevor's time. I am so grateful. I've learned so much from you today, and I hope I get to do this again with you very soon.
Thank you. I'm going to put a link to the description of your channel in the description of this video, and people can go across and subscribe to Latesha, wonderful YouTuber. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, okay?
Thank you so much, Trevor. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Well, everyone, thanks for coming in and joining me. That was lovely. What a lovely lady. Yeah, she's got 5,500 subscribers. I'm hoping that we can all go and help her. And it's a good community. Lift each other up. There's too much negativity out there. Get rid of it. Graham in the chat, thank you very much for all the hard work tonight. Thank you, everyone, for watching. And stay safe, people.